Hello, what is up everyone? I hope you're staying well, I hope you are doing well. It's Truth here, back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about Far Cry 5's open world. But before we do, just want to let you know, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell, as well as like the video if you like it, leave a dislike if you don't, tell me how to improve, tell me what I should do next in the comments. I always love interacting with you all, so please do feel free to interact with me as well. I really do enjoy it. Thank you. Far Cry 5 is the best selling Far Cry, and it's also the weirdest for me. I love and hate Far Cry 5 in so many different ways, it's actually insane. I mean, for example, everyone told me that Joseph Seed was a terrible main villain, but I ended up loving him. And then other people told me the level design and combat was really fun. I ended up hating it. So there's a lot of things that Far Cry 5 and me get on with and get off with. When it comes down to Far Cry 5, I like to I've only completed it once, I won't lie to you all. I do plan to replay it, but it's one of those games that, you know, it's like a Just Cause game to me. I can just sit down, play it when I've had like a stressful day, or play it, you know, any time in the day, and it still feels the same. It's still fine, it's just Far Cry, you know. It's definitely the most toned down Far Cry. I'd say it's also definitely the easiest and the hardest. So it makes it a very easy experience to play, which is lovely. About a week ago, I did a video on Far Cry 3, Far Cry 4's open world, and how it was good but bland. And today I'm doing a video on Far Cry 5's because Far Cry 5 to me's open world is so strange, it's odd. Far Cry 4 had a very dark colour palette, and a lot could say drawn out and bland, so I think Ubisoft felt like switching it up for the next Far Cry. Setting it in America, for me, defeats the even purpose of Far Cry. You know, it's supposed to be a far cry from reality, but yeah, it's set in America. Anyway, I digress. The colour palette is very bright and very nice, and I can't help but love and hate Far Cry 5's open world. Well, not so much hate, but just, it's odd to me. The open world's set out like this. There are four villains, antagonists, and that's well, of course you have Joseph Seed, who owns a little bit of land in the middle, but he's more of an end con, an end pawn to your whole shop. Then the map is split up into the three other villains: Faith Seed, Jacob Seed, and John Seed, who in my opinion are all fantastic villains, and I really do enjoy interacting with them. However, the map's split up into those sort of three, and here's where I love it and hate it. Having a split like this is quite nice because it allows the player to, you know, go to whoever they want to first. You can go to Jacob, John, or Faith in whatever order you like, which I think is very cool. But also having it like this makes the story a bit strange, because I think you can start like John's quest and then go straight to Jacob's. Please let me know if I'm wrong with that, but I just feel like that would be very jarring and sort of odd. Also, the whole like theme of surviving, like in Far Cry 2, it's just completely stripped away. It's pretty much just a shooter with a funny throwing shovel. Jesus, you can just lob shovels at people. It's fantastic. However, I digress. Far Cry 5's open world, like I say, is split into three sort of sectors. So Jacob's sector is the first one you would probably go to, and it's very hilly, but my problem with Jacob's sector is it's not much different to John's, and that annoys me. Now, Faith's sector is my favourite because it's got like Faith's drug everywhere. In case you haven't played Far Cry 5, Faith like uses this drug to like drug people, and like I think I'm not sure. I feel like it's called Faith. I can't remember the drug's name. Oh my gosh, hang on, I need to look that up. Found it. It's called Bliss. Anyway, there's a lot of Bliss, which is this drug that sort of alters people and pretty much turns them into zombies. However, there's this drug like all over the map, and it's quite cool for her sector because you have to really be careful where to go. However, once again, the open world feels so bland in the fact that everywhere you go feels like a small, nice, cutesy American town or a wilderness, and that's just a bit boring for me. I think the setting of America can't work anywhere. Like, sorry, not anywhere, as in like anywhere in the Far Cry universe, because like I say, Far Cry. However, I think America is a beautiful country, and I think the map does reflect how beautiful America is. But I feel like they could have done more interesting things with like its landscape and stuff, you know? It feels a bit bland. However, what I do like about the open world is the amount of side quests now. So there are no bell towers in Far Cry 5, which is fantastic. There are beacon towers, but you unlock the map by just driving around it. And I quite like this change of pace. Clearly Ubisoft saw like the whole outpost bell tower, like side shit wasn't working. So they decided to switch up, and I will give them props for that. However, they've completely removed 99% of outposts, and that does frustrate me because they're hardly. You have to find one first, and normally on a Far Cry they're all already marked for you to go and take down. However, in Far Cry 5 you have to go out and find one, which is just, it's just a bit annoying when it's a core feature which you expect. Bell towers are gone, which I you know what, or bell towers or radio towers, they are gone, and you know what, I completely appreciate that. You know, doing 19 bell towers for Far Cry 4 was, because I'm playing Far Cry 4 again in a minute, and like going over those 19 bell towers, it's kind of painful. Like I won't lie, it gets repetitive after the 5th one. Anyway, though, Far Cry 5 has great side missions. Like, they really take it. It's not trying to take itself too serious in terms of like side missions, unlike other Far Cries where like it's just almost hilariously too serious in their side missions. But Far Cry 5, you've got such funny characters, and you have a companion system, and you unlock companions by doing side missions with them, which I think is a really cool way to unlock companions. Mind you, it makes the game piss easy, and they're not all that interesting, but I quite like some of the companions. You know, I like the guy who flies the plane. I thought he had quite a cool side mission. Herc, even though I hate that son of a bitch, his side missions are hilariously fun. And Far Cry 5's best moments in its open world is those moments where you go out and find side missions. My favourite like location in Far Cry 5 is John's town. I can't remember what it's called. I'll show images of it like now, or a video of it now. And it's like the town in John's area of the map. And I like that area altogether, but I just really like that section, that little town. It's got the most interesting characters to me, and I just quite enjoyed it all the way through. So whilst I do like Far Cry 5's graphics and aesthetic, and I do like the process of the open world, and I do like visually some of the open world, the things where it falls flat to me is the fact that it feels very, very samey, just like Far Cry 4 after a while. And with the addition of there being like hardly any camp outposts, it makes the game just a bit boring. My other problem with it is that Far Cry 5's very, very easy and hard, so it's very inconsistent. Some missions I would be so frustrated because of how hard they are, and other missions I would be crying with like laughter because of how easy it was. I mean, it's ridiculous. And the open world isn't really the same. The open world, most of the stuff you do, it's quite easy. I won't lie. So just take that into account when you're playing Far Cry 5. However, one thing I do like about Far Cry 5 is there is more variety in the side missions and content because of the addition to planes. In all the other Far Cries, you either have a wingsuit, or you have, in Far Cry 4, you have like a little helicopter thing. But other than that, you don't really get any like aerial vehicles. In Far Cry 5, you can get a fucking mounted helicopter with machine guns and missiles. It's hilarious. However, it is pretty cool nonetheless. Like, flying planes is fun, and helicopters, and shooting down like Colt, even though it's so ridiculous that they have that much artillery. But still, it's still pretty fun, and it's enjoyable to do. Also, like I say, makes side content a lot bigger variety. Because of these air missions and these ground missions and these driving missions. There's a lot of variety. However, it cannot save the game from the lacking in content and difficulty. Once again I say, all the side missions are so easy, and therefore it just makes the game feel kind of boring and a bit mid, if I'm honest. To best describe Far Cry 5 to all of you, I would say it's a very like safe and mid game. Ubisoft didn't really do anything special here. However, I really do still enjoy parts of the game. I gave it a 5 out of 10 in my scripted review, which I haven't posted because it needs more time. But Far Cry 5, it's a very cool game in some aspects, and a very not so cool game in the other. I think it's because it did sell so well, they were being a bit safe, but at the same time, I do commend them for breaking away from their usual routes. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope you guys think about watching some other content. At the minute, I'm sort of stuck doing Fallout content because views. Not that I don't enjoy it, I absolutely love making Fallout content and it's fun to see you guys' opinion, but I just wanted to do a sort of a mini series of something a bit different. So tell me if you want to hear another video on Far Cry's open world. I can do one on 3 or 2 or 6. Please don't make me do one on 6. But yeah, you guys have a wonderful day and I will see you all in the next video. It's been Truth, stay safe, peace.